But if Gino had actually played to his projection, he would have been within 10 of you, not 45 short in looking at everything. And then he had running back 2 lost him 17, his flex lost him 14, and then he had his wide receiver 2 lost him 5.
I
But
am so I am so glad I listened to you and my gut.
yeah,
113 over 75.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was when you were thinking of putting the other guy in, I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like the Viking game was good.
He's on the 30-yard line. The 20, the 10, touchdown!
One man army, Rambo. Baby walking like Naomi Campbell. Make me wanna risk it all, take a gamble. Little butterfly tattoo on her.
We are now done with our fantasy regular season, even though the regular season is still going. And last week was wild. Just not what I anticipated to happen happened. And yeah, I'm kind of blown away at some of the
I
results. What do you
told
think,
you what
Clark?
was going to happen, and look what happened. I told you exactly what was going to happen, and it did. Don't
I'm blown
listen to
away by
me.
the margin at which it happened.
The,
That was the crazy part.
the margin doesn't matter. The result is still the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you
Get
did
him
win.
the flying hell away from me
Yeah.
where he belongs. Get him away from me.
So with you beating Curtis, now you beat Curtis by 60 points. He was trying to make some moves. He was projected to earn 350. Didn't even get close to getting the 350 at all, and
No,
just
because
fell
he had the
apart.
Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah. He ended
No,
up
fell apart.
literally 60 points under projection,
Yeah, whole
and you
team
were
fell.
15 over. He was good until the Seahawks started, and then the moment that they started, it all went downhill. All went downhill.
He had caught me, passed me, and then
Fell on his
if
feet.
if he wouldn't have put Charbonnet in, he would have been fine.
Yeah,
He still wouldn't have beat me,
he
but
fell on his face. I mean,
he still wouldn't have beat me.
when you're looking at it, he had a total of 3 guys earn him 24 points, but then he had 6 guys lose him 84. And those 6 that lost him 84 weren't just small amounts for the most part. His quarterback lost him 40 points, 45 points of difference, which is just
If
absolutely
he would,
wild.
it wouldn't have mattered.
No, I know it wouldn't have mattered, but like
It
he
would
lost that.
no him having DJ Moore instead of Sharps, it wouldn't have mattered.
But if Gino had actually played to his projection, he would have been within 10 of you, not 45 short. Which I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the ultimate key there is like his one player really pulled that total from him in looking at everything. And then he had running back 2 lost him 17, his flex lost him 14, and then he had his wide receiver 2 lost him 5.
I
But
am so I am so glad I listened to you and my gut.
yeah,
113 over 75.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was when you were thinking of putting the other guy in, I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like the Viking game was good. The Vikings played good football, but
But he didn't play.
it wasn't Darnold's show. It was the entire team putting that together that was pushing
No,
that
and
forward.
113 again for like the 5th time this year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lamar is 115, and then
113.
113, and then Armchair, he put in Burrow, earned him 90, but if he had put in Goff, he would have earned 160. Goff was
Mm-hmm.
an incredible beast. He had the most points earned. But then Allen was the actually best quarterback that was actually on the field last week, threw for 126, 127 points. Just the Bills destroyed the Lions' undefeated record. It's now gone. They had an 11-game winning streak. Now they're 12 games they've lost, but they're still in competition with each other. I don't remember who's going to playoffs or who's not. Who's going to
They're
wild
both in.
card? Is any of them in wild card or one of them in? Are they both in solid?
The Bills are going to be the wild card.
Okay, so the Bills are wild card. Okay, I
The
knew one of
Bills
them
are a
was.
wild card. Uh, the Lions
Lions.
are the first seed right now.
Yeah, they took their
I think.
game, and now the Bears have no chance of going into the playoffs. Period. They have with the Packers winning, they're now gone or out of it.
Let's see. Hang on. Yeah. So the Z is. So the Chiefs have their division. The Texans have theirs. The AFC North is still up for grabs because those two play this week. The Jets are out. The Patriots are out. The Browns are out. The Jags, the Titans, the Raiders.
We knew the Jags were out. They've been out for a while.
The Raiders, the Giants, the Bears, the Panthers are out. Everybody in the NFC West is still in it technically, but the Niners are out. The Saints are going to be out. The one seed in the Chiefs will get the one probably.
In the AFC. Oh no, one seed overall. Yeah.
Lions had the tiebreaker over the
Eagles.
The Eagles.
Purely based on in-conference games.
The Bucks have it over conference games. The Rams have. So Sunday the week 18 is going to come down. Seattle and the Rams going head to head for that final spot. Is what it's going to be.
So it's the Vikings, the Eagles, and the Lions on the NFC side.
Right now it's the Lions. So right now 1 through 7 is Detroit, Philly, Tampa, LAR, Minnesota, Green Bay, Washington. We're outside looking in. Seattle basically has to win out to get in. That's how I feel.
And there's 4 games left.
There's 3 games left.
Is there 3 games left? Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were just
Minnesota, Chicago, and then LAR.
They would go to 11-6 to be able to get through week 18, and they would need the Rams, the Bucks, and the Commanders to lose outright.
Yeah, but the Rams aren't gonna lose to New York, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, when we're looking at defenses last week, the Denver Broncos defense did an incredible good job of holding on to literally an entire game against the Colts after the first quarter, not allowing anything really to go by. They took a trick play back for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. That was interesting to watch that replay a couple times to see what they were trying to do, but that cornerback saw it and took it right back to the goal because no one was there to stop him. They did a good job of really holding the ball, having ball control, and getting good interceptions, good recoveries, sacks, and only allowing 13 points. So they did a good job there. The Chiefs intercepted Winston 4 times in that game, and 2 of them were in the end zone. That would have been the pivotal point in turning that game against the Chiefs, but because Winston's losing reliability, he's not doing well. He's getting replaced this coming Sunday against the Bengals because he's thrown 1, 2, 5, 6, 10 interceptions over the last 14 games, and he's not throwing. Or sorry, that's the wrong stat line. That was he's thrown, I think, 15.
Who's clueless now?
Shut up.
Who's clueless? What?
Where's
no.
Jameis Winston.
Now you have to put your helmet on because you.
Total interceptions 12, 13 touchdowns for 2,100 yards.
No, he'll just skip over him being stupid, but he'll point out me being stupid.
How do you get on the pro level and throw a .88 interception per touchdown?
That's like how he was about I think it was 3 years ago. He led the league in touchdown passes, but he also had like 30 something picks.
Jeez, complete stats, Jameis Winston. 15 interceptions in 2015, 18 and 16, 11 and 17, 14 and 18, 30 in 2019 with 33 touchdowns.
Yeah, he led the league in passing in 2019.
5,100 yards, 30 interceptions, 33 touchdown passes, 47 sacks. Wow.
So Winston had the most passing touchdowns in the league in 19, but he also threw the most picks.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
He had the most yards, he had the most touchdowns, he had the most picks.
I'm so glad I didn't pick him up when I was going to, because that's I didn't realize that was his stat line. Holy cow. No, thank you. We had Joe Burrow last week.
Yeah, but with that, you also look at it is that for the awards, for that, so
holy hell,
he didn't get one MVP vote. That year, Russell got Offensive Player of the Year 4. AP, he ended up second. I think it was Lamar for that year. Russell was 5th in voting for Player of the Year.
I don't even know how you're looking at this.
Pro Football Stats. Or Pro Football Reference.
He got the Davey O'Brien Award in 2013, the Heisman in 2013, and the Walter Camp Award in 2013. So in 1 year, he got 3 awards.
Jameis?
Yeah.
Ooh, no. Get me off of baseball. I don't give a flying rat's ass. They're trying to give me baseball fantasy. I'm like, no, get me off of that. I do not care. Get me off of that. I could care less.
It's not that time of year yet. Let's not even focus on it.
Yeah, it's not that time of year next year either.
Oh, you're doing baseball with me next year.
Nope.
Yep.
I will talk about it. I will not do it.
Oh, you're funny.
What are you gonna do? Drive up here and give me a spanking?
Maybe.
You dirty boy. There's a clip. 50 Shades of Stat Nerds.
Oh, here come the seals back. Oh, good Lord.
I have a whip here somewhere. Hang on.
I don't need to know that. Yikes.
Yeah, like I gotta whip it, man. Yeah, no.
So when we're looking at like everyone else, though, it was pretty close. Like, yeah, you
that took a hard right turn.
Like, you beat Curtis by 60, yeah. Mahone beat Cody by 2.2. Did you read the ESPN recap this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is hilarious. I've got to read this to you.
Did you get slacked on again?
No. So it's got a week recap, and it's the one it calls out is Mahones versus Morningstar. So it says losing always stings, but scoring the most among the losing teams really hurts. That's what happened to Morningstars last week, as they had to watch others across the league score less than their 256.7 and wonder why they couldn't have that matchup instead. Some blame could be placed on Kaimi Fairbairn for having a subpar performance, but there's no time for that. Just move forward and focus on getting into the winners column this week against Eastie. So there's one that calls out. Another one calls out specifically Mahones and Morningstar. So the Monday Night Miracle, this game came down to Monday night's game. You can't fall asleep Monday night before you take care of business. And unfortunately for Morningstars, that's exactly what Bijan Robinson did. Clearly, they saw the projections and thought victory was in hand, so they clocked out early. Unfortunately, they left a little too early, as their 44.5 points handed Chilling with Mahones the victory. It won't be easy getting over this one, but maybe next time Robinson will get a little more patient before they call it a night.
I still can't get over the one where it told you I still can't go over where it told you to thank the booker or whatever the hell it was.
Thank the schedule maker. Thank the schedule maker for the victory that week. And I'm like, really? Come on. But no, that's just wild. Cody lost by 2.5 points, 2.2, because of Robinson not getting the ball the last 3 snaps and handing it to Algier instead. And then just that didn't go anywhere. He just falls short.
I like him on the bench.
And then Whiskey beat Mirith last week, plain and simple, because the Bears were held to 3 points. Caleb Williams couldn't move the ball, couldn't throw the ball. They were running it well, but he.
here's going to be the problem.
What?
Next week is going to be the problem with all of our teams, because divisions are going to get locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Or like seeds are going to start getting locked. The divisions are going to get locked up and all that. So like 18 might be all for like all the teams that are actually already in the playoffs are going to be like, so all the division leaders winners are just going to don't care.
Yeah.
Are just going to play backups, don't care. So that means like I might get screwed.
Armchair.
Armchair might get screwed. Mikey might.
I mean, he's got Kyler Murray, and right now Cardinals are going for a spot, so I don't think he's going to be in a bind.
I might.
You might.
I might with Lamar and Darnold.
Yep. Whiskey might purely because of Mayfield or because of Hurts.
Yeah. Or if he plays Hurts, Hurts won't play in the final game if they have a spot.
No.
If they're going for the number one seed, then maybe.
Yeah. But like with Blue Green, he's going to put in Holmes no matter what. They're going to still play Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then I've got Knicks. They're still going to put in Knicks. You don't think they're going to put in Mahomes?
If they lock up the number one seed this coming week, they won't play him in 18.
I think they're going to, just because they want to hold on to that only having one loss.
Well, if they clinch it, they won't play him. They won't play Kelsey. They won't play half their team because they don't want them getting hurt.
You think they'll give up the ability to have only one loss to?
Yeah.
Okay.
To preserve their players in a home playoff game for a spot in the AFC Championship, yes, 100%.
That's a fair thing. Like
because in the AFC Championship, it's going to be them in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, they're going to need everyone at the tip top, and that's a good point.
Yeah, so Mahomes being with his high ankle sprain, they're not going to play. He'll play against Houston, but I don't think he'll play in 18.
Okay, that's a good way to think about it. Because that's just not what I would consider. I would want to. We got one loss. We're not going to go to where we're going to lose again. But then we got Goff. The Lions have 2 losses. The Bills have 2 losses. They're going to be going in and want to stay hot all season.
Yeah, but with the NFC is closer because the Lions are 12-2, the Eagles are 12-2, and the Vikings are 12-2.
Yep.
So they're going to have to play it out because you're still fighting for that 1 seed.
Well, and when you're looking at the Commanders are a game behind the Packers, the Commanders are trying to get to that 12-5.
The Commanders
are 11-5. Yeah, the Commanders are going to play everybody. I mean, speaking of the Commanders, I called it. Daniels threw 100 points last week. He had 6 interceptions total season. He had 1 last week. He threw 1 touchdown, 220 yards, 66% completion, 22 out of 30. Carried it 8 times. He didn't play his best that he's played all season.
Oh my God. The number 1 seed might come down to week 18. So
that's what you said last week because of the Vikings playing the Lions.
And the Lions, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That might come down to the division, and the number 1 seed is going to come down to week 18 because I don't think either one. I don't think Minnesota's going to lose to Seattle. I don't. They're going to overpower them and they're going to railroad them.
So the Eagles, they play the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants. They have next week's not an easy game for the Eagles. Just Daniels is going to be coming for the Eagles, but the Cowboys and the Giants,
W's.
Those are going to be wins. Like those 2 teams aren't going to be able to. They've played them both this year, and they've lost both times, but badly to the Eagles. So I don't see any kind of competition there.
I don't either.
When you're looking at the Vikings, especially coming into next week. They've got Seattle, and if Seattle plays like they did last week, Seattle's going to get massacred by the Vikings.
They're still going to get killed.
And then
they're still going to get killed because they're going to try and play Gino with a broken ankle.
And they need to not. Like the Vikings play Seattle, then they play Green Bay, then they play Detroit. Now Green Bay.
I'm so glad I'm not Minnesota. Oh my god!
So with them playing Seattle,
shit.
That's probably an easy win for them, no doubt. Unless Seattle figures it out. But then they play against Green Bay.
Are they in Minnesota?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a good game.
They're going to be in Minnesota, and then there's a potential that it's going to be Green Bay at 11-4, and the Vikings at 13-2. So the Packers have to win to get the Vikings away from the Lions. But then I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be Minnesota beating Green Bay, and then it's going to be the Lions playing with the Vikings for seed number 1, because when you look at the Lions' schedule for the next 3 weeks, it's Chicago, San Francisco, and then Minnesota. I don't see them losing to Chicago at all. I don't see them losing to San Francisco, especially with how many people are injured on the 49ers roster over the next 3 weeks. They're going to have one hard game. The Vikings have 2 hard games. And then when we're looking at the Bills for the next 3 weeks, they've got New England, New York, and New England. They're home for 2 games, then they're away in New England. So there's a hot chance that the number 1 seed on the NFC side is going to be highly contested. And
it's going to be it could be a 3-team swing, it could be a 4-team swing. You don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. We won't know till these next 3 weeks are over how this is really going to play out.
We won't know until probably week 18 when it's division games.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like the last set of playoff spots. Yeah. One of them's going to come down. One of them might come down to Seattle and LA.
Mm-hmm. If it comes down to Seattle, it means they play really good football the next 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have to figure it out if they want to see that come through.
Well, the only reason they're in a position for a playoff spot is because of the 4-game win streak they have.
Yep. All because of their defense, not because of their offense. So, that's Whiskey's match, Mahone's match, Curtis's match against you. Mm-hmm. I beat Blue Green by 40. I was supposed to beat.
Oh yeah, and the barn.
I know you don't care. You don't care. I was supposed to win that match by 30. I ended up winning by 40. His team fell apart by 10. My team improved by 10. So saw a lot of good swings there on that side. I ended up forfeiting a category 6 out of 10 rather than 7 out of 10.
You have won more games than I thought you were going to be honest.
4-11. Pretty proud of myself for that.
I thought you were going to win 1.
And next year, now that I know who to pick and not the position to pick, I'll have a better handle on this next year. We'll see how it goes. And we're looking at having more teams next year too. So it's not going to be just 10 teams.
Actually, on that, when we're done here, I might actually have 3 more guys we can put into this.
I've got 3 more too for us for next year. We're gonna
shoot! I knew we could do. Put your guys in your division. Put my guys in my division. No. Ain't doing that shit.
It's going to be interesting how it's going to go, but yeah, there's going to probably be 6 more people joining us next year for this. So we're 16 teams, which is crazy, but it'll be interesting. With Armchair versus Easty. So this match was going to go to Easty in some fashion or another because
Easty thumped him from what he told me.
Everything showed that Easty was going to lose. His under said he was going to lose by 16. His average said he was going to lose by 16. but his team didn't perform to average or didn't perform to projection. His team overperformed. A 16-point under in favor of Armchair turned into a 105-point favor in favor of Easty.
That's
105
because Devontae
points.
Adams had 60-something points.
Amon St. Brown got him, what was that? St. Brown got him 60 points on a projection of 30, and that's
Devontae
just
Adams
one
got him
player.
60.
Yeah. Devontae Adams also got Easty 60 points on a projection of 30. And then his, Breece Hall fell short by 14. His defense got 5 more than projected. Kyler Murray lost him 9, but Kyron Williams gained him 7. And Devon A-Chain lost him 6, but his 2 guys earned him 60 points. When we're looking at
gets him 121 points between 2 players.
Yeah. He literally had 5 guys earn him 90 and 4 guys lost him 29. And it's just little incremental things here and there for most of his guys that earn him points, except for those 2 big boys. Whereas on Armchair's side, he had 2 earn him 30, but 7 lost him 89 points. He lost as many points as his quarterback earned him. And that's the first time Armchairs fell under 300 points, I think, all season, if I'm looking at this right. Armchair's average is 326. He has only had 2 games under 300 that were predicted, or 1 game under 300 that was predicted. His actuals, he's had 5 games under 300. 2 of them just barely, by literally 0.1. But one was 256, another was 290, and another was 291. So he's gotten really close to 300. That's not better the entire season. This is just a bad week for Armchair. And now when we look at next week, when we tally up who plays who, so you got to buy, so does Armchair. And with Easty winning, so
I am so happy we get to talk about this now. I am so glad because I got my wish.
So with Easty winning and Cody losing, that pulled both of them to the other bracket to play Armchair. Depending on who plays who is going to be who plays Armchair next. But the thing is, right now this week, it is an even dead set match according to ESPN. It is a 334 to a 334. So we have to then look at averages. So when we look at
often upset, so I don't have
when we look at Easty versus Morningstar, their averages is Easty has the up on that by 1.5.
333 to 330, 334.4 to 330, or 333.4 to 334. Holy
shit! I already said that.
Oh, well, I said it again. Get over it.
So, hang on, don't get ahead of me. When we look at the averages, it says that Easty's going to win by 1.5. Even though Morningstar's going to take more categories, it says that there's going to be a 0.6 difference in favor of Easty over Morningstar. Now, they both have to play to projection for this to be a close game, but we'll see really how this goes. If one person falls apart, that person that falls apart loses, and it's all gone. Yep. When we look at the other winner's bracket spot with Mahones versus Mirith, when we're looking at this now, I know Mirith did some changes while we were doing our conversation getting started. She has a 7-point projection lead on Mahones. Now,
I need you to ball out so I have a spot in the final.
Mirith's last couple of weeks, her team has been falling apart. She's not been performing greater than 300, but Mahones has been a solid 360 4 weeks in a row now, which means that Mirith's team has to come full swing and more to be able to take out Mahones, because if not, Mahones is going against you next week. And that average will carry through into where you have a 333, she has a 360. So unless her star players don't perform, you have no shot at the final round.
Yes, I do.
I don't know, man. I don't
have
know.
I have a trick up my sleeve. Don't you worry about it.
Okay. I'd love
I
to see what
have
this
a
trick is.
plan up my sleeve. Don't worry about it.
I'd love to see what this is because I honestly have a feeling that
now they watch this shit. I'm not stupid.
I have a feeling that if Mahones performs again, that the team just does a great job, that it's going to be Mahones and either Easty or Armchair in the final position because of how those teams are performing. We'll have to see. And then the consolation ladder, it put me against Green again. It's 10th versus 9th. But Green has a 280. I have a 301. We'll have to see. Green's team has been falling short every week the last several weeks.
So when he tried to play me.
Yeah, and then he came out of nowhere when he was against you. He got almost to 300.
I still slaughtered him, but like out of nowhere had a 100-point lead at like right off the gate. Like what the hell?
Yeah, and then when we're looking at that match is separated by 20 points. Miras and Mahones is 7 points. Easty and Moorstar's dead on tie. When we're looking at Curtis versus Whiskey, it's a 294.7, 294.3. It's another close game. This is for the 7th and 8th moving into the next spot in playoffs. Now, they both on average, Curtis's average from his players are 309. Whiskey's is a 292. So, depending on who Whiskey puts in will determine how his quarterback does. But a lot of his players, those teams, are going to be going, like we just talked about, are going to be going for better spots in the bracket, having to play everybody. Whereas when we're looking at Curtis's team, a lot of his players, those teams aren't anywhere near. So are they going to bench them? Are they going to not? Is it going to make it difficult for Curtis's team to do well, or is he going to earn some momentum? I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one to see tomorrow how that goes.
We'll see. I'm in coast mode right now because I ain't a part of that, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about mine.
With your bye as it currently sits, you've got to hopefully your team next week does a good job. I have to win one.
I have to win instead of winning 3. I have to win 2.
Yep. But it's gonna be an interesting week for our fantasy league. It's gonna be a really good one, and I look forward to seeing how this goes because it's gonna be fun. I'm thinking
it's gonna be real fun not being in the participation trophy ladder.
I'm thinking that if I beat Blue Green this week, Whiskey's team is going to struggle against Curtis's for whatever reason, depending on who he's got in play, and it's gonna put Whiskey against Green in the next round of the consolation ladder, but then it's going to put Curtis against me, and I'll beat Curtis in round 2, but that's going to then put me back against Whiskey for the 7th and 8th spot, and then Curtis against Green in a 9 and 10 spot. So there's a chance that I'll play Cooper for position 7 on the leaderboard. And then there's a chance that you will play Armchair for 1, or you'll play Mahones and get knocked out and go for 3.
I love how you're so excited for 7th.
Hey man, I thought I was gonna lose every game this season. I'm doing pretty good. I've got 4 wins. I have more wins this year than I had last year in my league that I was in. So
I have more wins in football than I did baseball, so I feel good.
Yeah, your baseball team was haphazard at best.
Yeah, because I didn't have the point system for me because I didn't know how to make the points. I didn't have the power of changing points.
That's our league recap for the week. Please stay tuned for next week. Find out how the beginning playoff round comes as we recap it next week, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
One-man army, Rambo. Baby walking like Naomi, Campbell. Make me wanna risk it all, take a gamble. Little butterfly tattoo on her ankle. It go together with the one on my shoulder. I be like a sailor, swimming in the money. I was broke, won't go back. This a throwback, by the go in cold beer, baby, hold that. I'm not there yet, but I'm so close. Shine your light on me, I'm lost. Feeling alright. can feel it, I'm so close.